Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to KPW War Zone. As I take you Styles calling the action, as always, right down the middle, flying solo. Like any other night, we are one night removed from lethal lottery. 16 men cashed in their chips for a chance at World Championship glory at Summer Spark, but only one man came out victorious. That man was the Sauce. We have a new World Heavyweight Champion, and we're going to be hearing from him tonight. But not just that. In the main event, to conclude the trilogy, a World Heavyweight Championship contenders match. Pierre Cinema versus Sigma Shuko 3. And it all starts right here, right now. And it appears we're starting things off hot and heavy here. An appearance from our new world champion, Ding! And he's dressed for the occasion, making the most out of his celebration, looking real sharp, looking dapper, as some may say.
Whoa! Let me feel that energy flow through my veins. Whoa! Last night, something very special happened in the middle of this ring. Lethal Lottery, which is now available on QMate on demand, I went one-on-one against the Monarch Oliver English for the KPW World Heavyweight Championship. For him, it was all about going for the green and fattening that paycheck. But last night, we fought for something different. We gave it everything we could, and I pinned Ali in the middle of that ring. 1, 2, 3. All for the moment to stand here in front of the people I love, to stand here in front of all the dingers in the forum and watching at home, and say that we did it. And I also wanted to address some rumors floating around. 'Cause I heard through a little grapevine that the dinger is going to take this title somewhere else. And let me clear this up right here and now. Ding is not for sale. They can prop up whatever fake flunky they have on payroll to run around and play dress up as the dinger, but you're only going to find a genuine article in KPW because KPW is my home. And I know how smart the dingers are. So I'll stand by you and fight for you, because I know that you already stand by me. Not that I'd work for some second-rate company run by a washed-up New York commissioner with a scat fetish anyway, but that's heresy. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Now that the legally binding statements are put into notion, I'm here to make a declaration of independence. This is where the best come to wrestle. If you have KPW running through your veins, we welcome you with open arms. 'Cause I know there's a whole locker room back there waiting for the chance to kick the door down, and I'm gonna lead this house by example.
Whoa, what is this interruption here? Oh my God, it's Ricky Rhombus. Ricky made a hell of a statement last night in his debut at Lethal Lottery, taking the fight to Chris Billy, and now he has the gall to interrupt the world champion? He's really making the most out of his first impressions here at KPW.
Wait a minute, I know who you are. You're Ricky Rhombus. I saw your performance last night in the Lethal Lottery match. You took the fight right to Chris Billy. It takes a lot of balls to do that on your first night, but it also takes a lot of balls to come to the dinger, dressed like that.
You want to talk about the way I dress when you combine face paint with a suit like that? I'm sure that when that paint wears off, it reveals a face that only a mother could love. But I'm glad that you're already familiar with my work. For big signings last night and yet, everybody is talking about Ricky Rhombus. You want to know what got everybody talking about Pretty Ricky? I punched my ticket into the lethal lottery match and did in mere minutes what that locker room couldn't muster up the balls to do in months. I hear all about how Crisp Billy is this unstoppable force in KPW. I hear all about how nobody can keep Crisp Billy down. But there's a difference between mythology and reality, and I'm reality, bitch. Reality is that I kicked Crisp Billy's ass all over the forum last night, and that was just a shape of things to come here in KPW. The Sauce might have won the lethal lottery match, he might have the guaranteed world title match at Summer Spark in August. But what if I don't want to wait until August to take a crack at the world champion? What if I want to kick your ass right now? The Sauce can wait until the 25th next month, but I don't have to wait for shit.
Save your energy, kid. I know you want to take a swing at me. Make your big statement. Take a shot at the world champ. But you're going to be going one-on-one against the 7'4", 525-pound Crisp Billy, and you're going to need every bit of energy to put that man down. But you know what? I got nothing going on next week. You got nothing going on next week. How about me and you have a match in the main event of War Zone next week? You got a hell of a ladder to climb, but if you want the spotlight so much, I'll give you a spotlight so bright you can see it from space. I wish you luck against Crisp Billy, and that'll be tough for anybody. But next week, it's showtime.
Strong statements. Not just from the Dinger, but from Ricky Rhombus. Calling his shot against Ding. It appears we got a match between the two next week on Warzone. Main event. Mark your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. Ding, in his first match since winning the World Heavyweight Championship, goes one-on-one against Ricky Rhombus. And oh, sweet mother Jesus. Ricky, this is why you don't run your mouth. This is why you gotta be careful of what you say. You say his name and he appears. This man is nothing but pure evil. Crisp Billy. This is not a man that will allow anybody to push him over. He is not a stepping stone for anybody. And Ricky Rhombus is about to learn the hard way. And he's not even dressed to compete right now. He looks like he's ready to go for a morning jog. The referees rang the bell for this? Ricky's gonna put up the fight that he could. He wants to run it back like he did at Lethal Lottery last night. Crisp Billy going to the top rope. The shape of the future. Ricky Rhombus. 104 major signings last night at Lethal Lottery. We'll be seeing two of the other major signings in action against one another later on tonight out at Warzone. Nick Flawless goes one-on-one against Steven Gielberg, the director. We'll also be seeing the debut of the tag team Chaos Control. as they team up against Big Bernard and Tommy Tanks, who also put up quite the record-setting pace in the Lethal Lottery match. And Chris Billy has just been nothing but dominant against Ricky Rhombus here. And Ricky just musters the energy to kick out. He gets the shoulder up. Nobody would have blamed you, Ricky, if you just stayed down after a move like that. Ricky Rhombus trying to pick out his spots here. Find an opening against Chris Billy. As he takes a ride in the middle of the ring, a choke slam. Textbook execution by Chris Billy. And Ricky Rhombus is finding out the hard way. That's a lot harder to put down Chris Billy when he's a fresh man. Ricky trying to lift up the 500-pound beast in a suplex attempt. The height disadvantage, the weight disadvantage is sizable. What makes you wake up in the morning and decide that you're gonna pick a fight with a man that's well over a foot taller than you and has almost 300 pounds of mass over you? As Ricky eats a clothesline to the back of the head. Oh, Chris Billy's taking Ricky for the ride here. The George Foreman drill. Right on the top of the head. Pinfall attempt. 1, 2, 3. It's over. What a way to be initiated into KPW. Can't fault Ricky Rhombus for wanting to showcase some fighting spirit. But maybe he should have picked his targets a little bit better. Chris Billy. Making Ricky Rhombus put his money where his mouth is. And it just turned out that he was making checks that he just couldn't cash. What kind of condition is Ricky gonna be in for next week's bout against the World Heavyweight Champion Ding? What an explosive start to War Zone here tonight. As we make our way over to the next bout here tonight, the director, Steven Gielberg, goes one-on-one with Nick Flawless. You want to talk about major debuts, you want to talk about big signings. It doesn't get any bigger than the big four that we saw last night. Even Gielberg he has only one working eye. He's got perfect vision with that one eye. He knows how to enter a match. He knows how to start a fight and make it cinematic for everybody to see. But when you're a director, you know a little something about pomp and circumstance. And this man right here is no stranger to the pomp and circumstance. It's Nick Flawless. Nick was putting on a hell of a performance last night in the Lethal Lottery match. Bringing the fight to anybody and everybody that stepped forward. Picking up the most eliminations in the match. He would, of course, be eliminated by the eventual winner of the match, the Sauce. But here in KPW, I just get this. I just get the feeling that Nick Flawless here, he's gonna have quite a bright future as he counters a spear attempt from Steven Gilbert, wrapping the legs around to choke the life out of the director. Test of strength in the center of the ring. Northern Light suplex by Steven Gilbert. Throws it up high with the kick. Maybe miscalculating the distance. Brainbuster by Steven Gilbert. Now Nick likes to take things old school. He has a lot of pomp and circumstance. There's a lot of method in the pacing of a Nick Flawless beatdown. He knows how to take a beating and he knows how to give them out. You would be hard pressed to find anybody on the roster that knows how to take a beat down and get right back up like Nick Flawless. As these two are just slugging it out in the middle of the ring. Steven Gilbert operating with that outside of the bounds of any kind of honor system here. Raking the eye of Nick. Irish whip reversal into the ropes. Steven Gilbert pumps the brakes. And Nick sends him flying to the outside. Steven Gilbert retrieving a broom from the outside.
6, 7, 8.
Unleashing quite the assault on Nick. You know, when we said that we had new blood here in KPW, we didn't realize how thirsty these four men would be to have the opportunity to stand at the top of the mountain. We saw how this has been working out for Ricky Rhombus, making his claims for the mountaintop. Putting targets on the head of Chris Billy and the icon, the world heavyweight champion Ding. Nick Flawless, the director Steven Gilbert, going out of their way to step over each other just to have a chance of winning some gold here. And of course, the prize fighter, Venom Artemis, who we'll be hearing from next week on War Zone. Picking his spots out quite delicately. He was the man that took out Jim Ross in the Lethal Lottery match. Reverse DDT by the director, Steven Gielberg. Precision closed fist catching Steven Gielberg on the nose.
1, 2.
It going up top, thinking better of it. Steven Gielberg retrieving a briefcase from the crowd. Completely bewildered at how the fans at the Kumite Forum can sneak in these metal objects. Anything goes here in KPW. Club to the back of the neck. These two men. Brought in at a time where it seemed like everything could be hopeless for the KPW Twitch division. Slarty, our resident KPW Twitch champion, demolishing the competition. Taking out Popo to win the championship. Taking out Popcorn Poppy to get that opportunity. Taking out Corey Sinclair just to retain that belt. These two men are here tonight to restore some life in that division. As the director pokes out the eyes of Nick Flawless here. Wants to get things on even playing grounds here. Steven Gielberg, of course, working with one good eye here. Shoulder thrust right into the gut of the director, right in the corner of the ring. Big forearm to the back of the head. Big rolling kick by Steven Gielberg. Looking for a double underhook suplex. Nick ain't going up for Steven. He had to neutralize that with a well-placed knee to the gut. Half and half suplex. Real clashing of styles here tonight. That punch finding the mark on Steven Gielberg. X marks the spot. Big crucifix powerbomb pinfall attempt, and Steven Gielberg gets it. Steven Gielberg getting the job done here tonight in one take, one continuous take. Not wasting any time to get things right. As he puts away Nick Flawless with that sit-out powerbomb. Look at the angle of this drop here. Slamming Nick with authority onto the mat. Congratulations to the director. He might not have two working eyes. He might just have one. But tonight he gained access to his third eye. He gained access to that sixth sense. He kept everything flowing in one shot because this was all he needed to get the win. Congratulations to Steven Spielberg, the director. Coming up next, tag team action as the debuting Chaos Control goes up against the Influence Big Bernard and Tommy Tanks. Tag team division constantly nurturing under the power of Huckamania. Many teams are stepping up to the plate now. Now that the Boise Boys have been put away at Lethal Lottery, Huckamania proving that it wasn't a fluke. Now here first is Kruger, one half of Chaos Control. Now you want to talk about size, you want to talk about strength and power. We thought the Boise Boys were dangerous. Look at the size of these two men. Papyrus has to be everything north of 400 pounds, 6'8". Big Bernard is gonna be in one hell of a position here tonight for his team. Gonna have to do all the heavy lifting, metaphorically and literally. The condition that him and Tommy Tanks have to be in after that Lethal Lottery performance. They're at quite a disadvantage here tonight. These two men together, not letting the Lethal Lottery match weigh them down as a team. Even when Big Bernard eliminated Tommy Tanks in a chance to further his own career. Working things out as a team. Two hearts beating as one. The Influence versus Chaos Control. Live from the Kumite Forum. Kruger starting the match off for the debut in Chaos Control. Look at the size of Kruger alone compared to Big Bernard. They gotta be dead even in weight. Maybe a slight advantage to Big Bernard. Never thought we'd see the day where Big Bernard would feel so small. Stranger things have certainly happened here in KPW. Huckamania has to be watching on from their homes in Venice Beach. What kind of shape will the tag team division be in by the time we get to Cyber Sunday, July 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. On the Team Adhesive streaming service. Tommy Tanks bringing the fight to Papyrus, the smallest man of the match, bringing it right to the biggest man of the match. A real case of David versus Goliath unfolding in the ring here tonight. Slugfest here from Tommy Tanks, putting up quite the fight. He's made one hell of an impression lately here in KPW. Last week on Warzone, we saw him go one-on-one against the world champion Ding. And history was made that night when he and Ding pushed each other to their limits and gave us our first ever 20-minute time limit draw in KPW. Big chops to the chest of Kruger here. Tommy Tanks dictating the pace of this match here tonight. Clothesline sending Kruger through the ropes. Tommy Tanks going up top, looking for a double axe handle. Kruger moving out of the way, drags him under the bottom rope by his feet.
4, 5, 6, 7,
The two hosses of the teams. Big Bernard of the Influence, Papyrus of Chaos Control, sizing each other up. That's one hell of a stare down right there.
17, 18,
Tommy Tanks and Kruger getting back into the ring on the 18 count. As Big Bernard rakes the back of Kruger. Now it really feels like we're entering a new phase here in KPW. It really feels like Uete Pro Wrestling as a company has taken the gloves off. Real changing of the guards moment with Lethal Lottery last night. Ding is our new world heavyweight champion. Puckamania putting down the Boise Boys to remain the tag team champions. Slarty being the face of the Twitch division. And then Pierre Cinema and Sigma Shuko duking it out in a catch-as-catch-can bout, showing everybody what KPW is all about. Want to talk about excelling from bell to bell? Look no further. Still to come tonight to conclude the trilogy, Pierre Cinema versus Sigma Shuko 3. The winner goes on to fight Ding on the 15th, 2 weeks from tonight, in the main event of Warzone for the World Heavyweight Championship. Abdominal stretch applied on Papyrus. The flexibility on display by Tommy Tanks. It's almost like a proverbial battle of bands here. Headband versus waistband. Pyrus's legs are almost as wide as Tommy Tanks' chest. Big clubs to the back of Kruger here. As they are more than prepared to go the distance here tonight against Big Bernard and Tommy Tanks, the influence. Tommy going low. You don't have to agree with the tactics of the influence. Roll up attempt by Tommy Tanks. You don't have to agree with their methods, you don't have to agree with their philosophy, but you cannot deny their work ethic once that bell rings. And the time calls for them to turn up the heat. Boy, do they turn it up. Big Bernard going up top, dropping the elbow on Kruger. Headlock attempt. Big Bernard blocking the ropes from Kruger there, preventing him from getting access to a rope break. Back suplex returned by Kruger there. Headbutt by Big Bernard. Irish whip it to the ropes. Kruger goes up and back down with that mountain drop. Big Bernard looking for that throat thrust, taking a little too much time to charge it up. Now he has to deal with the 400+ pound Papyrus. It's gonna be a scary, scary night when we see that man stand across the ring from the 525-pound Chris Billy. We're gonna need to reinforce the mat. We're gonna need to reinforce those ring posts. We're gonna need the front rows of the Kumite Forum to sign waivers in case they get hurt from the ring imploding. This Papyrus spills to the outside. Say what you want about Chaos Control. Say what you want about their size and their agility and everything. These guys are dangerous. Big splash, big avalanche splash by Papyrus. Clothesline, clubbing Tommy Tanks right in the head. As we're receiving word here tonight. Breaking news from the office, Jim Ross initiating an open challenge for Cyber Sunday on July 28th. With express permission for the fans to vote his opponent, polling opens for Cyber Sunday on July 4th. Choose the opponents, choose the stipulations, choose the match types, even choose the production of the damn show. The power is at your fingertips. KPW would like to express their gratitude for your continued dedication and loyalty. We have the power to change the way that Twitch wrestling could ever operate. And we're gonna prove it tonight, on that night, July 28th. The Pyre suplexing Big Bernard over the top rope and down to the floor. Kruger picking up half of a table. Who brings in a pre-broken table to a KPW show? 17 count by the referee. Something's got to give here. Big Bernard gets back into the ring. Kruger gets back into the ring. For the second time, he almost came close to a draw via count out, a double disqualification. These two teams are just beating the hell out of one another. They're filling the void in the tag team division left by David Rush and Hollywood Hannon. We've seen them go right through the Murder Hornets. We've seen them go right through the Raging Bulls. Raging Bulls in particular, they really haven't been the same since Willie Nixon got concussed by the hands of the Boise Boys. Coney Island Express, the Scheme, the occasional pairing of Slarty and Shuko. We'll be seeing Shuko up next against Pierre Cinema to conclude the trilogy. Armbar attempt by Papyrus. It's a miracle that he didn't tear Tommy Tanks' arm right off of the torso there. Sidewalk slam, bringing Tommy down to the mat with authority.
One, two, three.
Tommy Tanks operating as the brains of the group, of the influence between him and Big Bernard. Big Bernard dictating the pace outside the ring. Papyrus controlling the pace inside the ring. Tommy Tanks mustering the strength of body slam the 400-pound Papyrus. Where does he find the energy? Where does he find the strength within to lift a man of that size down to the mat 16 minutes in? Kruger is in, Big Bernard is in. These two men have had it out for each other since the bell rang. Nobody really knows where Chaos Control came from. Nobody knows what their intentions are here in KPW. They appeared out of thin air and they're here to make one hell of an impact, and I'd say they're doing so tonight. They're doing one hell of a job here tonight. This is something that you could just extend to all of the new blood appearing here in KPW. Ricky Rhombus picking out his battles. Came up a bit short against Chris Billy here tonight, but who would blame him on that front? Let's not forget, he's got a main event match against Ding next week, the World Heavyweight Champion. And you have the directors, Steven Gielberg and Nick Flawless, duking it out. All in the efforts of furthering their careers and furthering their position within the Twitch division. Then there's Venom Artemis, the prize fighter. Man that took out Jim Ross at Lethal Lottery, making that immediate splash onto the KPW scene. Here to show the world what a true fighter looks like, what a true scrapper looks like. I'm sure the encounters between Venom and Solo are going to be nothing but brutal, bloody, and vicious. We're introducing a trash can to the bout. Overhead shot down to Big Bernard. The legal men fighting outside of the ring. Their tag team partners fighting inside the ring. Ruger's busted wide open. There was just something in the air last night at Lethal Lottery. The sight of blood just brought the spirit out, just brought the aggression out of whoever put on the proverbial crimson mask. "20 minutes into the tag team bout here tonight. We have another 20 to go." Up to the top rope, drops the elbow on Kruger. It would say a lot. It would speak a lot to the never say die attitude of Tommy Tanks if he could secure another time limit draw here tonight, the second week in a row. But that still remains to be seen. We have a long ways to go before he could get to that. But we saw his cardio put to the test last week against Ding. We saw his cardio get put to the test in the Lethal Lottery match. Pinfall attempt, spinning back elbow, doing the trick. Papyrus breaking up the pin. Another pinfall attempt. Papyrus just right there to break things up, keeping Chaos Control alive and well in this bout. Kruger choking the life out of Tommy Tanks. You take a look at those two men in the red corner. Pinfall attempt. Kick out by Kruger. Take a look into the eyes of the two members of Chaos Control, and you start to wonder if they have a soul. If there's anything behind those eyes. They appear to be sporting the same tattoo right in between the eyes. Some kind of symbol. Pinfall attempt. And the Influence using a little bit of teamwork, shaking off the rush from Lethal Lottery to secure the win here tonight. Tommy Tanks running to the far corner, striking Papyrus right in the back to slow him down to break up that count. And that was all it took for the Influence to make the critical step forward in the tag team division. A win that they sorely needed. But sometimes one little push is all you need to get the train going. Let's see if the Influence makes the most out of this victory here tonight. Congratulations to them and welcome Chaos Control to KPW. And in our main event, the highly anticipated conclusion to the Pierre Shuko trilogy. One of these two men will be receiving a world title shot against the Icon Ding in 2 weeks from tonight, July 15th, Warzone, main event, first ever world title match on weekly programming here in KPW. And you can't find two men more deserving of this opportunity than Pierre Cinema and Sigma Shuko. Pierre Cinema ran into a bit of a roadblock in his quest for the gold. All thanks to this man right here, Sigma Shuko, in that Beat the Clock challenge last month. Where he was not able to match Ding's time in that challenge, but Shuko was able to put him away. He got the win that night. Here's Cinema, of course, even the score last night at Lethal Lottery. But somebody has to break the tie here tonight. One of these two men will get the world title shot that you've desperately been craving for a long, long time. Inside cradle by Shuko. Irish whip is the roast by Pierre Cinema. Back body drop. We're already seeing a different pace and ebb and flow here tonight from these two. Pierre Cinema wanting to do this the right way now. After having to rely on that baton to get the victory last night at Lethal Lottery. Pierre Cinema going low on Shuko. Shuko spilling through the ropes. He gets right back in. The tension in this ring, the electricity, cutting with a knife. Big chops to the chest of Shuko. Waistlock grappled by Pierre Cinema. Back body drop. Back suplex, I mean. King's gotta be watching on from the back, in the private locker rooms. Probably still adorned in that dapper suit that he brought himself down to the ring with tonight to start off Warzone. Roll-up attempt. 1 count. Sigma Shuko cutting off that burst of momentum from Pierre Cinema. Been a reoccurring trend in the past several weeks. You can count on Sigma Shuko being there to hold Pierre Cinema back. Pierre doesn't have any time to waste. He wants that world title shot. Pierre perfection. Center of the ring. Shuko's twitching. He's not messing around. Lateral press. 3 count. Surprisingly quick fashion here tonight. Pierre Cinema picking up the big win against Sigma Shuko. Say what you want about Pierre Cinema, he kept things relatively clean. This is probably the cleanest we've ever seen him wrestle here in KPW. No reliance on foreign objects. No reliance on underhanded tactics. Fought with honor. Here, Sigma Shuko tried to play the game of Pierre Cinema and he came up short. He gave up his own strategy just to try and outdo Pierre at his own. And it cost him here tonight. And as it's locked in, July 15th, that man right there, Pierre Cinema, goes one-on-one against the Icon Ding for the KPW World Heavyweight Championship. We'll be seeing you next week for more Warzone. We'd like to thank you for spending your time with us. Our main event next week, Ding goes one-on-one in a non-title match against Ricky Rhombus. We'll be hearing from Venom Artemis about a challenge to Solo, with more details to be announced later. This is Tape. I've been Tapey Styles, the only man to call it right down the middle, the man that flies it solo on the mic every night. Calling it live from the Kumite Forum. Wishing you all